Hello everyone, my name is Jane and welcome to a book haul. I'm so excited to film a book haul today. I feel like it's been a long while since my recent book haul, but knowing myself, it probably was only 2 months ago. I was usually doing book hauls every month, and I have to say that I got better. I don't buy as many books as I was used to, but like you can guess, I still have a lot of books to share with you today, and a lot of them are very exciting because first of all, I have a lot of new releases that I pre-ordered and just new books that I'm really excited about. I have also a good amount of special editions, which is very exciting. And except it, I have also other books, romance, mangas, a lot of other stuff. But I'm just really excited to share everything with you. I'm just really missing filming book hauls. And I think that let's start with the new releases because I always love to talk about them first. Now, the first new release is one of my most anticipated new releases of the first quarter. This is basically a YA horror book, and this is Ecstasia by Claire Lagarde. Now, basically, I read one Claire Lagarde book in the past, and it was also a YA horror. So Kierkegaard, I think was the name, and I liked it, but I wasn't super impressed by it. But I have high expectation for this book because I did like the writing, and I really want to see where the author progressed. But I do have high expectations for this book, also because, like the name, the cover, it really intrigues me. In the top here, it says Gore Saint Witch, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be about witches and about maybe some kind of a witch coven. The thing is that the synopsis here is very vague, so I really don't remember what this book was about, but from what I remember, this is just a YA horror. We are following a teenage girl and things just started to get complicated, and I guess it's going to involve witches, and I really love witches in books, especially contemporary books. Like I really love contemporary fantasy books, so I feel like it will be a horror paranormal book, if you get what I'm saying. I just really want to get more into YA horror. I didn't read a lot of them, but usually when I read YA horror, I really enjoy it. So this is just the first book, a book that I was really waiting for a long time, and I'm really happy that I finally own the copy of. The next book is another new release that I'm crazy excited about, and this is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by XCO. This book is already on my May TBR, and I'm really hoping to get to it this month because, again, I'm super excited about it. Basically, XCO wrote already another contemporary romance, XOXO, which I really loved, but this is a fantasy. Not a contemporary, maybe a romance, but this is a fantasy, a YA fantasy, and we are following a girl that lives in a place that every year there is a lot of floods and a lot of villages are getting drowned. So her village people believe that if they will sacrifice each year a girl for the sea god, one day you will forgive them and will stop flooding all the villages. And I really love the idea and the premise. Like, it sounds really good, and I'm also trying to get back into fantasy because I didn't read a lot of fantasy recently, and I feel like it will be a very easy YA fantasy that I can get to. And yes, I'm just really excited. Also, the cover is so gorgeous, so beautiful in real life, and yes, I'm just so excited about this book. Now, the next new release is a graphic novel, and this is Scout Is Not a Bankhead by Jade Armstrong. Now, this is, I think, the newest release that I have on this book haul. It was released only in April, so it's very new, and this is basically a graphic novel. And the idea sounds so sweet because we're following a child that loves to read, and she has a favorite author, and her dream is to meet her favorite author, and she's trying to do anything to meet her. And then she is finding out that the school band is going to perform in some kind of place, and in this place her favorite author is going to be there. So she is joining the band only because she wants to meet her favorite author. And yes, I think the idea is super cute, super sweet. I really want to read it already. It just sounds so good, and I'm really excited for it. Now, the next two new releases are basically sequels that I'm really excited about. The first one is Hook, Line and a Sinker by Tessa Bailey, and the second one is For Aunties and a Wedding by Jess Q. Santano. Hook, Line and Sinker is the sequel to It Happened One Summer. Both of them are romance contemporaries. They can be read as standalones. This is just following the sister of the main character from the first book, so it's like two different romance stories. And For Aunties and a Wedding is the sequel to Dial A for Aunties, which I loved. Now, expectation-wise, I think that I'm going to like it less than the first one, but I think that I'm going to love For Aunties and a Wedding more than the first one because it was one of the first cause mysteries that I read, and I was really confused about how the book worked. books when I read the Diary for Aunties. So I feel like I'm going into this book much more aware and I know what to expect. So I think that I'm going to like it more. But anyway, I'm really excited about those two. I really enjoyed the first books and I usually don't read sequels. So me checking those sequels out means a lot. And finally, the last new release is not really a new release. This is basically a special edition of a book that was released a long time ago. This special edition is the new release, and this is the Cinder special edition. Basically, Cinder is the first book in the Lunar Chronicle series, which is a series that I love. It's probably my most favorite series that I read since I got back into reading in 2020, and this is the collector's edition of the first book. I'm not sure if there is going to be more editions, but this edition is very, very pretty. You have a very similar design to the original one, but this whole thing is basically just the box of the book itself, and here you have the book, and it's basically takes out like this. So you have like the very pretty box and the book itself. Now the book itself you have here Once Upon a Time, and then you have here on the other side a hand, because basically the main character of the story is a cyborg, so she have like an electronic hand, so this is her hand. So I really love how it looks. It's like a naked hardcover and it looks very, very pretty. I really love this edition. It's unfortunately isn't signed or something like this. I also don't think there is any extra content to this edition, but because I really love the Lunar Chronicles, I really wanted to get it. And yes, I just think it's so pretty. Also in the other side, you have like a very pretty design, and I just really love how it looks, and I love Cinder, so I'm really excited about this edition. Now I have some more special editions, but I will talk about them in the end. Now I just want to share some books that I got for myself, not new releases, just some books that I was really interested in. The first one is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. Now basically this is a Roman contemporary book that honestly I wanted to get for so long. I heard really good reviews about this book and I didn't got it until today because it was sold out almost everywhere. Like anytime that I wanted to get a book, I saw that you can buy it, but the day after I tried to buy it and it was already sold out. And basically from what I know, this is some kind of a second chance romance. We are following a couple that is engaged and they are planning to get married. Now I'm not sure if the wedding was cancelled or just something happened, but they don't want to be together anymore. So this is basically their story of them trying to be together and like to get loving each other again together. And honestly, I just heard really good reviews about it. It's like one of the books that I keep hearing only good reviews about. So this is the main reason that I want to check it out. I just got really hyped about this book, so I'm really excited about it and I really, really hope to love it. Now the next book is from one of my favorite authors ever, and this is Too Late by Colleen Hoover. Now I basically tried to collect all of Colleen Hoover books and I didn't read all of her books. This is a book that I never read, so I'm so excited to get to it. I just really love her writing and her stories in general. And like you can see, this edition looks a bit different because there isn't Colleen Hoover on the cover. There is a C. Hoover. And the reason that there is a difference in this edition is because basically Too Late is Colleen Hoover's only dark romance that she ever wrote. It means that it's going to be more dark. I guess that there is going to be a lot of trigger warnings here because in her regular books there is a lot of trigger warnings. So I only guess what is going to be in this one. But I'm trying to explore dark romance. I don't think it's going to be my favorite genre. I read some in the recent months and some of them I liked, some not. I don't think it's going to be a genre that I'm going to absolutely love. But if I'm going to read a dark romance, I think that the best dark romance that I can read is by Colleen Hoover because I personally really love her writing. So I feel like if I want to get a good dark romance that I will personally love, Colleen Hoover is the answer for this. And basically I don't know anything about this book and I'm sorry, I don't want to know anything about Colleen Hoover books before I read them. So I'm also not going to check the synopsis. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I don't know, but I'm definitely super excited about it. Now, the next book is K-Pop Confidential by Stefan Lee. Now, this is a book that I'm super excited about because if you're not new to my channel, you know that I love K-Pop and I especially love books about Korea or about K-Pop. And I feel like there is a lot of books that are following Korea or like Korean characters, which I really, really love and I love reading them. But there isn't a lot of books that are talking specifically about K-pop. And I feel like most of the books are books that I already read. And this is specifically a book that is super known in this field of K-pop books. Like I think this is the first K-pop book that was ever released. And from what I know, there is very, very good reviews about this book. I know it also talks about the dark side of K-pop. And I really want to read books that explore this dark side more. And I read the good books about K-pop. It's not like I'm searching for a new favorite, but I do think it might be a new favorite. And also there is a sequel coming coming soon this year for this book, and it was like released a long while ago. So I feel like it's the perfect timing to read it before the sequel will come out, and then if I will like it, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to love it, I will probably check the sequel out. And I'm just really excited. We are just following a girl that is trying to be a K-pop idol, and she's going to be a trainee in a company to basically train to be in a girl group. And yes, I'm just so excited to get into it, and I really hope to read it soon. Now the next book is a sci-fi book, and this is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And basically I bought this book because this is our April pick for the Enchanted book club, which is a book club that I'm hosting with a few friends. I'm currently filming it 1 week before the live show, so I still didn't read it. I have time to read it, so that's okay. But basically this is a YA sci-fi book. I have the Illuminate Files trilogy on my TBR from the same authors that I still didn't read, and I wasn't expecting to read something else by them before that. But I'm actually really excited about it because I'm really trying to get more into sci-fi this year, and I feel like in general getting more into a new genre that you don't know as good. A good way to get into it is to read YA books. I just feel like it will be really fun. From what I know, we just follow a group of people that are learning in some kind of a space school, and then they are getting some kind of mission or just something like this. I heard really good reviews about it, and I really hope to love it. And so I'm just really excited about it, and I'm going to read it this week, so hopefully I will actually love it. And now I have another YA horror book, and this is Our Last Echoes by Kate Alice Marshall. Now this is a book that I pre-ordered the paperback copy of. I saw a review about this book somewhere a lot of months ago, and there was only the hardcover available, and I really wanted to get this book in a paperback, so I just pre-ordered the paperback, and now I have it here. Now basically it's a YA horror. Like I said, I'm trying to get more into YA horror because I usually enjoy them, and the thing that got me really interested specifically about this book is that we're following a girl that always dreamed about drowning, and the weird thing is that she never been in the ocean, so she's dreaming something that never happened. And in the start of the book she's getting a call from some kind of an island town, and in this town her mother got disappeared something like 15 years ago. So for me it just sounds like a YA horror book that is really close to water and is set near the water, and it's probably about water, and I really love books that are set near the water or in a water setting. I really love this aspect in books, and I usually really enjoy them. And I read some thrillers and horrors that are set in water, and I really enjoy it. Like I feel that it's a very fun setting that really works for me. So I'm definitely really excited about this book. It just sounds like a YA horror that I will personally really love. So yes, I hope that I'm right about it. Now I have 3 mangas that I want to share with you because I'm really trying to get into manga this year, and so far I read something like 3 mangas and I really enjoyed from it. And the first manga is A Sign of Affection Volume 1 by Sumo Rishita, and basically I'm not sure how many volumes there is in this manga series. I think there is a lot, but I'm not sure how many of them were translated. I think only 2 or 3 if I'm not wrong. But basically this is a romance manga, and we're following 2 characters, and the girl in this manga is basically deaf. And I heard really good reviews about this manga, and I really want to read more things with disability representation, and I feel that I never read a book about a deaf person. I watched shows about it, but I never read a book, and the main reason that I got this manga is because I heard amazing reviews about it. This is like a manga that I keep hearing just only good reviews over and over again, and I'm pretty sure that I was in live reading sprints a long time ago, and we talked about this manga, and this was the thing that made me buy it. So I'm really excited to get into it. Also really love romance, and so far I didn't read a lot of manga romance, so I want to read more manga romance. And yes, this is just a very small sweet manga that I hope to love. And the 2 next mangas are Astra Lost in Space Volume 4 and Volume 5. Basically the 3 mangas that I said that I read so far are the 3 first volumes of this manga series. And this manga series has only 5 volumes. It's a very short manga series, so those basically the 2 last volumes in this series, and I'm actually really enjoying it. The only book that was a bit disappointment about was the 4th one, but I still really enjoyed the world and like the idea about it. It's about a group of teenagers that are going to a trip to space from school because this is the future. Everyone are going to space, but then they are getting stuck in space and they need to find a way back to Earth. So this is just a found family trope, and I really love it. Like I'm so impressed by this manga series so far. I didn't expect to love it this much. I bought only the first one, and like you can see I already own all the 5. I hope to finish this manga soon. So yes, I'm definitely really excited to continue and finish it, and I will definitely recommend checking this out. Now basically I have 3 books that are books that I already read, but I decided to get the copy of because I really love them and I wanted to own those books physically. The first book is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This was basically my most favorite romance that I read in 2021. I didn't expect to love this romance this much. I expected so many other stuff before I started to read it, and just the most amazing romance ever. I loved it so much. It's basically sortish, darkish romance, but not really. The idea itself and the trope itself are pretty dark because this is the boyfriend dad's trope. Basically, the main character of the story is a 19-year-old girl that is falling in love with the father of her boyfriend. So the trope itself is dark, but although this book is pretty darkish and very steamy, it was very realistic and very genuine, and it surprised me. And like, for me, it was not very dark, like, except the trope and the age difference. It was such a good book. Definitely a book that I would really recommend. The next book is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This is basically a book that I recommended a few times on my channel. I read a few books by Ruth Ware. I do enjoy her writing, but none of them was a new favorite. This is the only book that I read by her that I absolutely loved. I read it as an audiobook, and I think that the audiobook is amazing and perfect because Ruth Ware's narrator is just so good, and I feel like also the writing and also the narrator made this audiobook honestly perfect. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was such a great story, and I was so intrigued, and I couldn't really stop reading it. So I'm so happy that I finally owned a copy of it and that I can recommend it with physical copy. I just feel like it's so fun to get the books that you actually love to put in your collection, because for me, my bookshelves are my personal collection. And the last book that I already read is Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. Now, this is a book that I read and I really loved, but it wasn't a new favorite. Like, I really loved the idea. I was so impressed by it. Like, I didn't expect for it to have a legit plot, because from what I know, it's only a steamy book, and it's definitely a steamy book. Like, most of the book is smart, but I was so impressed because there was still a legit plot and actual interesting characters. I'm not going to continue the series because I never continue series, but I really love this edition. Like, this edition is just so pretty, and although it isn't one of my most favorite books ever, it's still a book that I really enjoyed from, so I don't feel bad owning it. I just feel like it's so fun to own beautiful editions, and it's already a book that I read and that I enjoyed. So yes, it's also like a special edition because the regular editions look different and like very romance steamy books, and this one looks very pretty, and I just really love the design on it. And finally, like I said, I have more special editions that I want to share with you, and those are basically my Illumicrate books. I subscribe to Illumicrate. My first book was the February book, and I have unboxing videos, so you can watch the unboxing videos if you want. I will link the playlist, but I want to share in this book called the books that I already got. The first one is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Rose, and I think that this is my most favorite edition out of the three that I got from Illumicrate. It's so pretty. Like, we have sprayed edges in the bottom and in the top of the book, and here we have digitally printed edges, which is so pretty. And like, under the dust jacket, it's so beautiful, and the artwork in the end papers, I just really love this edition. I was so impressed by it. I was really nervous before I got it, and yes, I'm really excited about it. I really hope to read it soon because it's a pretty long fantasy, which makes me intimidated a bit to pick it up, but I'm still really excited to get to it. The next book is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. Now, this book I got in the Illumicrate Afterlife subscription, which is basically a romance subscription. It's a quarterly subscription, so it's only once every 3 months. And this edition isn't super special like the regular special editions, but it has sprayed edges, and basically this is the only thing. Like, it has color change to the cover and sprayed edges, and obviously it's also signed, which is so exciting. And the final special edition is Gallant by V. Schwab. Now, honestly, I was really disappointed once I got the edition itself because I prefer the original UK edition so much more, but the edges are just so pretty. Like, the digitally printed edges are just everything. They are so pretty. So although I don't really love the cover itself, and I was pretty disappointed, I still really love the edges. The thing is that there is like embossing on the hardcover, but it's not very big or special, but I do like it. And there is also end papers artwork, which is pretty. But yes, out of the special editions, I think currently my most favorite one is A River Enchanted, because this edition is just so beautiful. I was so impressed by it. So yes, basically this was everything. Another book haul. I really loved sharing all the new books that I got with you, and unfortunately I'm a bit in a reading slump in the past 2 months. Like, I don't read as much, and I feel like filming this video just made me really excited about this book and like about reading again. So I'm just so happy because now I feel like I actually want to read again, which is amazing. So yes, obviously I'm so excited about all of those books. Just saying them again makes me even more excited about them. And yes, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.